slip on the trail. Don't slip on the trail.
Hey besties, welcome back to another video on my channel. I'm Kendall B. If it's your first time here, go ahead and subscribe, get comfortable, all that good stuff. I have found my work-life balance for the most part, but I'm going to show y'all my tips and the things that I have learned as a first-year kindergarten teacher to make my life a lot easier when it comes to not working when I get home. Like, I promise you guys, when I get home from work, when I leave my job, I do not work on work. First thing I would definitely say is making sure that I am utilizing every second that I am at work. I started doing a lot of planning and preparing for stuff when my students first come in the classroom. They first come in the classroom early in the morning. Some teachers stand by the door and greet them. I greet my students from my desk, and 99% of the time, my students, not even 99, 100% of the time, my kindergartners come up to me as I greet them. I say good morning, unpack, they come up to me while I'm working at my desk, and we talk, we chat about their dinner, we chat about what they want to do today, what they're wearing. They ask me what I'm doing, and I am continuously working, typing, replying back to emails, printing objectives to put for the learning targets. Like, I'm doing so many things in the morning, and that is probably like that 15 to 20 minutes is just so perfect for me to get that stuff done, because if you don't prepare for teaching that day, that's a little scary. I don't know how your lesson is gonna go, okay? So in the morning when I first come in, which is like, I'm not gonna say the time, but when I first come in, I have about 20 minutes before the students actually come in. And that's usually not enough time to get prepared for what I'm gonna teach. So I use also the time when the students are coming in to get the activities ready, to get the actual, like, if I need papers for that lesson, if I need to show pictures, I get all that ready when they're coming in. So that morning time, baby, is crucial, okay? Get your students to be independent, let them unpack their stuff. They know the routine, and you're at your desk maximizing your morning time. Love the morning. My students are at specials. Now, the days that I have planning, I'm not able to just, during their planning, I have planning with my math team on some days, your girls on the math team. And I don't have time to do things that I personally want to do in my classroom to prepare for my lessons. So I have to, like, do it on the days where we don't have any team planning. So yeah, the days that we don't have team planning are chef's kiss, because I have about 35 minutes to do whatever I need to do in my classroom, whether it's organizing, replying back to parents, prepping those fun art activities, whatever it could be. We have 2 days where we're able to do that. If I did not have those 2 days, I don't know what I would be doing. Okay, it would be a mess. So I use my planning period, and even on the days where my students do have specials and I have content team planning, if y'all don't know what that is, like, content planning is when you take your kids to specials and you go with the other teachers on your team to work on the lesson plans. So you don't have any time to do really anything that you need to do in your classroom. But what I started doing was maximizing those 5 to 10 minutes I have before team planning is having my instructional clerk take my students to specials. Most kindergarten classrooms do not have an instructional clerk, but I am so blessed at my school to have some people you can look at it as an assistant in the classroom, but it's called an instructional clerk. I have her in the classroom, and she's able to help me out with learning, teaching the students, and just getting things prepared, all areas just about. So I will have my instructional clerk walk my kids to specials, and that's at least 5 minutes for me to get things done, to just have some time and not be like rushing. So that 5 minutes matters. Like, every single minute matters, okay? Which is minimizing the load on myself, because a lot of times I would feel like I could do, like, even though I have an instructional clerk, like, sometimes I would feel like, I don't want to ask her to do everything. I don't want to be telling her to do everything, because I feel like I do tell her to do a lot of stuff. But not to say that's my job, but that is my job. You know, I'm trying to make this the best experience for my students and have a good prepared teacher. I don't walk them to specials anymore. I don't walk them to lunch. I still want to walk with my kids sometimes in the hallway. I don't know what's wrong with me, but some days I'm like, I want to walk with my kids. Like, it's a good day, it's a good morning, I want to walk them. So some days I do, some days I ask my clerk to do it if I really have a lot of things to do. So that is my newest tea, because I just started. I also have a lunch break. You know, if you don't know, teachers only get about 25 minutes for lunch. The thing about that is that 25 minutes can get swallowed up super duper quick, depending on what your lunch is, depending on if you're going to the microwave, if you're stopping in the hallway to talk to somebody, or if somebody stops you in the hallway to talk to somebody. That 25 minutes can be, oh, and don't forget going to the bathroom, which that's probably the only time you're really able to go to the bathroom, unless you have somebody step in and watch your class while they're in there. That's your time to go to the bathroom during lunchtime and planning. So all of that can swallow up your lunch time as a teacher. So what I like to do is I have a thermos. I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to insert a clip. You better buy one of these, okay? Teachers, student teachers. Student teachers. If you want time management, you need a thermos, okay? Or you need to be bringing cold lunches, okay? Salads, subs. Even though I don't recommend subs and deli meat because it's not good for you. Bring you a thermos so you don't have to use the microwave, because the microwave is horrible to be using in the first place, okay? Look it up. I don't like to use the microwave, but I feel like I'm obligated to at work because I don't be having time to heat up my food before work and put it in a thermos. But I really need to start doing that, because this will save me 13 minutes on my lunch break from heating up food, because you usually heat it up in a teacher's lounge. You're probably going to see one of your coworkers start talking. You know, you go to the bathroom, your food's in the microwave, and that's about 13 minutes right there. That thermos is something I got because I knew as a teacher I would need to use all of my minutes, okay? Lunchtime, I do get some things done, but lately I've just been using that time for me, like just to eat, sit down, take a breather, what if I want to scroll on Instagram, whatever it is, because that's important too. Like, even though you're at work, even though you're teaching and you're like nonstop going, you need to have a break and have some time for you, because you can overwork yourself. You can just feel really tired and exhausted if you are not sitting down and just taking it easy. Drink that water bottle that you brought this morning that got 40 ounces and it's lunchtime and you only drank 4 ounces, okay? I noticed that about myself a lot with teaching. Like, I'll bring a big bottle of water, or maybe even I bring a snack to eat throughout the day. I won't touch it, because I mean, I will touch it, but I don't have time to touch it as much as I want to. I don't make the time to touch it or drink it as much as I want to. So my lunch period, that is a time where I am able to rearrange centers and rearrange activities for the upcoming lessons for that day. Like, math is after lunch, so I'll like get out the math toys. Social studies is after lunch. I'll get the social studies pictures and draw the models of the social studies lesson. But I've been using that time for me, so I don't want to suggest to you to work on your lunch break, but that is a time that you are able to like work on stuff. In addition to that, we have teacher work days. Baby girl, teacher work days, chef's kiss. And that's not to say you have the whole day to do whatever you want in your classroom, because you still have to be creative with how you're using your time. Teacher work days, you have meetings, usually professional development with all the other teachers. You usually have content team planning, where you have to plan lesson plans ahead of time. And then like throughout those teacher work days, you'll have like 2 to 4 hour chunks of just in your classroom, like working in your classroom. And those are really, really helpful for me because I get to get ahead on a lot of stuff and change out my classroom activities, put out new, fun, engaging work for my students, and just switch things up. I like to reinvent the classroom for when my students come in and make the activities fun, make the activities new and more challenging for them. So I do a lot of things on that on teacher work days. And then lastly, I spend time the last 10 minutes or the last 5 minutes, whatever few minutes I can get while my students are packing up and lining up for dismissal. I'm at my desk finishing up messaging parents or finishing up putting in grades. All of that stuff, I make sure that I am doing it in those few minutes I have at the end of the day. And I even take it to the point where I pack up while my students are packing up. While my students are lined up, I'm putting my laptop in my bag, putting my charger in there, putting my small group lesson plans in my backpack, even though I don't read them when I go home. I'm putting all my stuff away so that when I come back in after dropping them off, I just grab my backpack, turn off the lights, maybe put some chairs away, and I'm out. So that has definitely helped me a lot when it comes to grading papers, because that's another big part of being a teacher. I'm a kindergarten teacher, so we don't really have like whole tests and essays and stories to really grade. Kindergarten grading is a lot different, so it's just like whatever you think your student gets is what you really truly grade them on. It's so controversial because they're learning everything, like letters, words, sentences, spelling. Like you can't grade them how you're going to grade a fifth grader. It's not as in depth. So when it comes to grading, that's something that you would have to do at home if you don't find the time at work. I did that probably one time, not doing that again. I basically, when we have tests or assessments or anything that needs to be graded, I like to have a pen, like as soon as a student hands me their paper, or as soon as while I'm administrating some tests to other students, as I'm watching them, making sure they're doing their test right and not looking at anything, I am grading the other students' paper that just got done with their test and inputting them. Like literally have my computer and a pen right there while my students are completing their test. And the time that I input those is usually any of those times I just listed, during transitions, usually in the morning, at the end of the day. Like that has been my lifesaver. And the most important thing is having that schedule and making sure you're not missing those grading dates, because if you don't, then you're definitely going to have to take some work home and do some grading and catch up on all those papers you haven't graded. So I grade things as soon as I get it, input it the same day or even the same week that I get it, and file it. I'm good. So I feel like this is really all of my tips for when it comes to like not working at home. It definitely works for me. My home life balance when it comes to that has been a little like because like I say, like when I come home from work, I don't really cook every time because I'm usually tired. So I'll have dishes, I'll have to like do laundry, and most times I don't do it throughout the week unless I have that burst of energy or just I feel like it. So I'm still trying to get into that routine of, taking care of home at home and not just sitting on the couch looking at TikTok or, spending all my time creating content and neglecting my home life and stuff like that. So it's a lot of things that you got to consider. It's all about maximizing time, and I feel like I'm getting better. So if you guys want any more tips or suggestions when it comes to this, leave your comments down below, and I hope this definitely helped y'all out. I hope you enjoyed it because that was a quick little synopsis of it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I love y'all so much, and drop your Instagram names down in my description box, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, beautiful.
Don't step on the trip.